Hello, everyone, and I am doing a really random thing, and I'm coming up here to talk about the new app that I'm building. Well, getting together. I just wanted to give everybody an idea of what I'm doing, what I'm looking for, and if they might be interested in getting their book on the app. We're looking for self-published authors. It's going to be for self-published authors and independent authors, and it's going to be all audio. So we're going to have an audio magazine. We're going to have just audiobooks for right now. Later on, we'll look into bringing in like ebooks and things like that. But I wanted to give you a sample because some people are like, I don't know how, they're funny with AI. They don't really know if they really want to do AI. And so I know like sometimes AI can sound robotic. And so what I wanted to do was show you a sample of my work, basically, and let you know like I do offer a service if you want me to do it for you, or I will teach you how to do it. So um, and right now, for the first few people who join in on my app, who get their books on my app, I am going to be teaching you for free. So it's a great opportunity. You may want to jump on it. So the first sample I'm going to show you is from, this is a very short story. These are two short stories that I have, but I'm only going to do one today. I'll probably do another one tomorrow later. And it's called Betrayal. So I just want you to hear it. These are AI voices. I'm playing around with the voices a little bit. I mean, I'm not trying to, say like the AI voices are absolutely the best and you can't tell the difference. That's not true, but you can make it where it's smooth and enjoyable. And that's what I want to kind of demonstrate to people. So here goes Betrayal. I turned it into a little video to make it more enjoyable. So I hope you like it.
Betrayal. Disclaimer. All names, locations, and businesses have been changed to protect the individuals involved.
I may not be the best husband. I do my best to provide a lifestyle where my wife doesn't have to work. We have been married for 14 years, and early in our marriage, she supported me while I got my degrees. Even though the startup of our company, I will never forget the day our company made its first mil. I called my wife at her job and told her to quit if she wanted to. It was the proudest moment of my life as a husband. Soon after, our first daughter was born, and life has been excellent. 3 years ago, my best friend, a man I have been best friends with since high school, suddenly found himself in an ugly divorce from his wife of 8 years. At one point, we were all great friends. The woman would go on shopping trips together, and they seemed close. I'm the type of guy that doesn't like to pry. My best friend told me he had discovered his wife was cheating, and when he confronted her, she lost it with him. It was so out of character for her to act this way. But why would I question my best friend? We had been friends since middle school. His wife, who I will just call Melissa to protect her privacy, tried to contact me for a year after the divorce, but I refused to have any contact with her. It just didn't feel right. That's my best friend's wife and mother to his 2 children. I stuck to my honor system and refused to meet or speak with her without my friend's consent or knowledge. This morning I left early for work. Our company is in the process of signing a significant contract with a very well-known and lucrative client, so I was eager to get to the office early. Everything was a success. Our company is now preparing to double in growth. Typically, I would work late at the office, coming home well after midnight when the wife and kids were asleep. It is Friday, and my wife has sent the kids to spend the weekend with her parents. I decided to surprise my wife with a romantic evening, taking an unexpected trip to the Bahamas. I bought an expensive bottle of wine, and I grew eager thinking of the last time I was passionate with my wife. The meeting had ended early, so it was a little after 3 in the afternoon when I got home. My mother-in-law had picked up the kids at noon, so my wife was home alone. It was perfect. I could surprise her with the good news and then treat her to a weekend getaway we both needed. I decided I wanted to take the surprise to the next level. I pulled up to our beautiful 5-bedroom home and quietly entered through a side door I knew was often unlocked during the day. I expected my wife to relax on the couch, probably watching her favorite drama. But something was off. Was she watching porn? This is even better, I thought. A sly grin grew as I thought about the compromising position I may find her in. I rested my keys on the kitchen counter and picked up 2 wine glasses. I noticed food on the kitchen table, but didn't give it much thought. A warmth came over me as I thought about the sacrifices she has always made for our children and me. She is finally getting free time to herself. I had second thoughts of intruding on her me time, but the longing in my heart for her surfaced in a way I had not expected. I wanted to hold my wife. The porn playing in the living room was so loud that it pulled me from my thoughts. Eager, I threw caution to the wind and entered the living room, holding the bottle of wine in my left hand and 2 wine glasses in my right. I felt a sharp pain in my chest as my eyes met my best friend's. His hands squeezed around my wife's waist, his fingers pressed into her bare skin. My wife's long dark hair hung loosely around her shoulders as she gyrating and grinding on my best friend. I hadn't realized I was staring until the sound of the wine bottle crashed on the living room tile floors. My wife spun around and gasped when she saw me. I turned around and I left. I have been married to this woman for 14 years, and our company is about.
So it actually cut off a little bit early. I don't know why it did that. I have to check on that. But yeah, that's pretty much a good little short story, a little sample of, how I do the edits for the books. I have another story, and I'll play that too. It's also short. It's very short, and it's called The Red Balloon. So
The
here
Red
you
Balloon
go.
by April Thomas, a Giley Media production. Agony tore at her heart as her eyes searched the playground wildly. She diligently searched for the clothes her 4-year-old daughter wore, especially the red balloon that was tied to her small wrist.
Please.
She ran her fingers through her long black hair, then wrapped her arms around herself. In her heart, she pleads for help. She screams out,
Chloe.
fearing she will never hear her daughter's small voice. Her eyes searched out a stranger passing by.
Sir, excuse me. Have you seen a little girl? She has 2 long braids tied with pink ribbons. She has a red balloon tied to her wrist. She's native. She looks just like me.
The man ignores her as he continues his stroll through the park. Bewildered by the rudeness of the stranger, she seeks a mother.
Ma'am.
She calls to her, but a man calls out to her, grabbing her attention. She ran to him as he spoke to her.
Are you missing a little girl?
Yes, she has 2 long braids and a red balloon.
Where did you last see her?
I sat on the bench and watched her play. I dozed off, and when I woke up, she was gone. I just need to find my little girl.
I will do my best to help you.
How can you help me?
My name is Nathaniel Eagle Feather. I'm a private detective.
Yes, please, thank you. My name is Laura, by the way.
Okay, Laura, let's trace your steps. How did you get to the park, by walking or driving?
We walked. My husband and I just had a terrible argument, and I needed to cool off, so I took Chloe for a walk to the park.
Did you notice anything strange on the way to the park? Anyone you may not have normally recognized in the neighborhood? Possibly driving around?
Laura reflected, picturing the day's events in her mind. She remembers a man driving a dark blue van.
There was a man, but he didn't stop or look in our direction.
Blue van.
Yes, no back windows.
Can you take a ride with me?
Yes, should I call my husband?
Laura pulled out her cell phone.
I tried to call my husband, but he keeps hanging up on me. I think he's still angry.
Let's just get going before it gets too dark.
Sure.
So tell me, Laura, what did you and your husband argue about?
He's cheating on me.
He will regret losing you. I am certain of it.
I wish that were true.
Hey, I am going to reunite you with your little girl.
They drove to a worn-down home. A few police cars were there with a dark blue van. Some officers looked over in the detective's direction, but he had given them strict orders before his arrival. Nathaniel took a deep breath as he turned off the car's engine.
Is there anything else that you remember before you passed out?
Again, blurred images flooded her mind. She did her best, hoping to get a clear vision of what took place that led up to her daughter going missing.
No.
Nathaniel stepped out of the vehicle and walked around to the passenger side. He opened the door and offered her his hand. She took it and stepped out onto the pavement.
I haven't been completely honest with you.
He said as they walked towards the back of the home. Laura carefully observed her surroundings. Was he some sort of sadistic killer? Had she fallen into a trap? Fright almost paralyzed her as her pace slowed and she now walked behind him. He was still speaking, but the words made no sense to her. Laura's tongue felt heavy and her knees buckled when she heard,
Mommy.
a joyful voice called out to her mother. Laura fell to her knees as her little girl ran into her arms.
Oh my God, thank you.
Nathaniel had his back to her, almost reluctant to turn around.
Don't thank me.
He said, then released a heavy breath. Laura was so consumed with joy she didn't pay attention to Nathaniel's strange behavior. She picked up her little girl, wrapping her small legs around her hip.
You still have your red balloon.
She smooths her daughter's hair as she walks towards Nathaniel.
Sir, thank you.
She places a hand on his shoulder, but he reaches into his breast pocket and pulls out some tobacco. Her eyes followed him as he walked to a shallow grave that held the body of her little girl. Laura fell to the ground as she realized that her little girl was gone. Confused and deeply grieved, she ran towards the grave.
No, Mommy, let's just go home.
Nathaniel said a Native American medicine song over the little girl's grave and then turned back to speak with Laura.
You were poisoned at the park. As you watched your daughter playing, your daughter was then kidnapped. Because of the circumstance of the case, I was called in to speak with your spirit and to help find your little girl as soon as possible. The dark blue van, it confirmed our suspicion.
Frank?
Your husband loved you. He only realized it too late. It was his mistress who organized this. Frank is now on suicide watch.
Nathaniel's heart sunk deeper as her body slowly became translucent.
I'm sorry for what has happened to you both. But please, be at peace and put this evil world behind you.
Laura looked at her little girl and then over at Nathaniel. A bright light now shined behind them, and she could hear her mother's voice singing comforting native songs. Everything became clear as both she and her little girl were welcomed home by her ancestors. She returned her gaze to Nathaniel and smiled.
Thank you.
Nathaniel watched as they turned and were embraced by the light.
Okay, so those are the two stories, and I hope you can hear the difference. Like with the with the with Red Balloon, how I tried to do two different voices. So there's like three voices, the two characters and the narrator, and they do have some emotion. You have to really some voices come with emotion, some don't. Some you can play with it. I wouldn't recommend doing that for a long book, but short little stories, it's good. Or if you want to like randomly put in a voice for a character every now and then throughout the whole entire book, that's what I would recommend. Um, it's a lot of fun. Actually, I have a lot of fun editing, audio editing my books. I'm actually working on getting all of my books onto the app. So the app it's going to do like a soft launch early, but it really launches in new in New Year in 2024. I guess my body wants to say January. I don't know. Hopefully, but we're going to be doing a soft launch first, so we're trying to get as many authors on there that would be interested. And if you have any questions, if you want to know more, you could either comment below or email me. I'm going to put my email in the comments. It's hello at aprilathomas.com. I also posted, and I don't know if it went on all of them, but you can also go to my website, aprilathomas.com, and go under, I think it's services or product services, products, where you can look up author services. And I have my audiobook. Right now, I have a sale going on producing the books. We're also looking for poets, short stories, just like what I did, short stories and things like that. So anyway, you want to learn more, just contact me, comment below. I'm going to do this again tomorrow or later tonight. I think actually I might do it tomorrow. I'm actually working on another snippet to show you different examples. And yeah, so I'll either teach you or I could do it for you. Just let me know. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Bye bye.